Hey, what's up, everybody? Mike Lindsley back with you. It is 9 minutes with me here at Rosie's Corner. A spectacular day. The sun is out, and of course, it's a Fish Friday. Come on down and grab your fish sandwich and your entree with your mac and cheese, 12 or 16 ounce, or your fries and coleslaw as well. They've got a lot of other options on the menu. Don't forget about that classic American burger. Don't forget about their stuffed shells, which are to die for. The Lunas, the hot and cold subs like the meatball bomber, the chicken parm, or a pastrami, one of my favorites. And of course, I would recommend pizza wing combos across the board, including in there your garlic parm, your gold fever, or just a regular mild or hot wing. Tremendous stuff here at Rosie's Corner. Pizza, pasta, hot and cold subs, and more. You got your Pepsi products in the cooler, your pasta salads, mac salads, you name it, and desserts to go as well, including chocolate, peanut butter cookies. You've got your brownies. You've got your sugar cookies. You've got themed desserts as well. Get on down here to Rosie's Corner, a proud ML Sports Platter sponsor. Route 11 in Brewerton, right off the Bartell Road exit. I am so frustrated and I am so down on the sport of baseball right now, and it pains me because I think a lot of people who have listened to me for a long time, for I guess now I'm no spring chicken. I've been around the block long enough now where you've caught me maybe in Syracuse or Albany, SB Nation, Yahoo Sports. You catch me on the podcast with the ML Sports Platter, and of course the Bills Brawl. In somewhere in there, and the Bills Brawl not as much because it's Bills and it's NFL, but connecting sports over in terms of the NFL being that far ahead, which I'm doing next week with Scott Petoniak, my good friend out of Rochester, but. You've heard me probably once or twice talk about the nostalgia and wax poetic about the sport and loving it and being a traditionalist and becoming more of a modernist in this kind of, era. A little modern, a little traditional, loving and appreciating the history of the game. Love my Yankees. Love the All-Star game. Just went recently to the one in Cleveland. Love, playoff baseball. Love opening day. Love the matchups. I'm so frustrated with the game across the board because the game has gotten so analytical. And I'll just kind of go through my list here. First of all, this game, it's too much about the Ivy Leaguers in the front offices, the launch angles and the shifts and the whips and the spin rates. And because of the analytics, that has created a model that when you watch a baseball game 8 or 9 times out of 10, the majority of things that are going on, strikeouts, walks, home runs. That's it. That's the list. Now, yeah, are there base hits? Sure. You might flip on a game and get 11 base hits and only 2 or 3 of those are home runs. Okay, fine. But the bigger picture tells you a lot more, that if it's not a walk, if it's not a strikeout, or it's not a home run, well, then it must not be going on in the sport of baseball at this time. Very few teams are running on the base pass, stealing bases. Look at the LA Dodgers just last year winning the World Series in a short season on the coronavirus, a 60-game campaign. Mookie Betts was terrorizing the Tampa Bay Rays on the bases. He was terrorizing NL teams on the bases. They came back from a 1-3 deficit against Atlanta before they even got to and won the World Series. A lot of that had to do with speed on the base pass. They've been playing baseball for 120 years. There's still a major place in the game for stolen bases, bunting, getting guys on, the whole shebang. And that leads me to a guy getting on for free in the extra innings. I can't stand these rule changes that have been implemented in Major League Baseball. Last year I was okay with the 7-inning doubleheader thing just to get games in because we were in a very unprecedented, uncommon type place with the COVID situation. And I said, screw it. If you get rained out, you play 2 the next day, or you have a corona situation. Maybe you had the Cardinals, you had the Marlins, you had all these games that needed to be played. I said, screw it. Just play 7-inning games, double dips, whenever you want, just to get them in, just to get the season in. Now we're way past that. Don't want to see those anymore. But the worst rule that's been implemented by Rob Manfred and his cronies, it's easily putting a guy on second base in extra innings. After the 9th inning, as you know, and I saw this take place in the minor leagues, but I was more of a fan of watching some of those changes, being implemented in the minors, simply based upon the fact that you're in a preserving the player world compared to the major leagues. You're preserving a guy. You don't want a pitcher to go out there and throw an extra 3 innings. What happens if he gets called up tomorrow by the Mets, Yankees, Braves, Nationals, etc.? and that pitcher who you called up for a reason to replace somebody, you called him up for a need, now all of a sudden he can't pitch because he pitched 3 innings in extra inning land in the minor leagues. So I got it more from that standpoint. This is the big leagues. This is the major leagues. This is ridiculous. This is cartoon baseball. It's artificial. It's fake. It's silly to put a guy on second base at the end of 9 innings. You start at the 10th inning with a guy on second base. To me, at that particular point, it should be almost a slam dunk that you can score the run. Oh, wait, but why is it not? This even makes it worse. Not only is it bad enough to put a guy on second base, a freebie by Rob Manfred and his idiot cronies, but because the analytics, back to the first point, because the analytics are in play, you're not bunting guys over as much. To me, this is so ridiculous. You have a guy on second base, first guy up, unless it's a real great contact hitter like a DJ LeMahieu or perhaps a home run threat, I guess, up there as well. It's simple. You bunt to the first base line, you get him over to third, you get a fly out, and then you have your closer come in and try to get 3 outs with their guy on second base. It makes zero sense. Baseball also has major problems right now connecting to their fans in terms of, and you'll have to hear the story on Bills Brawl with Scott Petoniak. He tried to sign up for a Yankees package. A lot of baseball fans trying to sign up for different things with streaming and MLB and the at-bat and the YouTube thing. You get YouTube, you can't get the Yes Network. Some people can get the Yes Network. All sorts of problems going on. But then when you try to go get baseball elsewhere, you can't talk to anybody. There's no picking up of the phone. It's overpriced. The games are freezing all across the board. It's a disaster. By the way, that's why I didn't cut the cord. One of the many reasons, because I have everything at my disposal. I got TV in 2 rooms. I got unlimited channels. I got all my sports channels. I got DVR. I have no interruptions. So it made a lot of sense for me to keep the cord and watch everybody else gravitate towards YouTube and all these other different subscriptions, etc., collecting them all, and now they're paying as much, if not more than me. By the way, wireless internet these days, if you want the top of the line, is between $75 and $90 just by itself. That's included in my package as well. Baseball, by the way, still way too slow. One of the things is, people come at me and they say, well, the duration of the game, 4 hours, it's so... The game within the game is creating that long of a game. If you see a baseball game that's 3 hours, 3.5, I'm like, it's kind of the same as a football game. NFL, college football, the duration is that long. Look at the Big 12 games where teams are scoring in the 40s and 50s, and those are going 3.5 to 4 hours for sure. But baseball, in my opinion, You've got a situation going on where the game within the game is really the crucial part. It's the problem. The game within the game. These guys are taking too long to throw the ball. Guys are out of the batter's box. They got to speed it up somehow, some way. And I was actually in favor of a pitch clock, which they tried in the minor leagues for Major League Baseball, just to see 15, 18, 21 minutes, something like that chopped off, because frankly, baseball games are just way, way too long. The game within the game is really the main issue. So I really want the game back. I want the game back to where I remember it, where there aren't as many analytics. I want to see bunting. I want to see hitting the ball the other way. People complain about the shift. I'm like, look, you can play a 2-3 zone in basketball. Why can't you play a shift in baseball? Well, now it's up to the offense to hit the ball the other way to get the defense out of the shift. That's the least of my problems. Analytics, pace of the game, the stupid rule with second base, the runner there in extras, foolish. I just want my sport back. I want baseball back now. ML here with you, 9 minutes with me, Mike Lindsley from Rosie's Corner. Get the hot and cold subs, the pizza, wings, your fish Friday, and more. All here at Rosie's. They'll deliver to you via Grubhub, and go like them on Facebook and follow them on Instagram as well. Thanks to Jason and Jody and the gang for having me, and can't thank everybody here enough for watching as well. Hit me on Twitter at Mike L Sports. As I always tell you, enjoy the games.